Okay, so now we got a happy customer here in Athens with a repaired LG front loader. And I got a call from 60K member in Lithonia. He said my dryer is getting hot. So, I'm gonna go to Lithonia. Let's see my boy. His name is Ricky's done. He is in Lithonia. His name is Mr. Buckner. And Mr. Buckner, Spring Garden Lane. Go now. Excuse me. We got an hour ride. Hey man, you're next up. I should be there right at 12.
Okay.
All
okay.
right.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Get the sweater off. Turn the air on. Well. You beat my fingers.
Yeah, hey husband, how's everything going?
Everything's wonderful. I got an extra call added, so it looks like I'm headed to Lithonia.
Okay.
Got an hour
I just
ride.
called your phone and it went to your voicemail.
It did?
Yeah.
Well, I was doing the
So I said I'm gonna call
transaction.
back.
I was doing the transaction.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just checking in on you.
I'm glad you did, babe. Just thinking about Miss Monroe.
Yeah. Okay. What you was thinking about?
Huh? What was
What
it?
you was thinking about?
I was just thinking about how your name is. Say it again.
What?
See.
Miss Monroe? No, it's Mrs. Monroe. It's Mrs. Monroe. She's my name.
Like that. Yeah, I'm up here in Athens. I just got finished doing the washing machine, and I got a call in customer in Lithonia, and we're gonna take care of that. And then I got a call in Loganville
cool.
to finish off the day. And that's the famous boys from Appliance Repairman call, which they probably will the moment I get to the driveway. But yeah, everything's going good. How about you?
Everything is good. You know, I'm working at desk alone, so I'm just trying to
Nobody's
stay on
there?
point. Well, I'm working my front desk by myself. My coworker's out today. So, yeah, I'm just doing that. And then I'm going to stop by Mom's because she's asking for her goldfish.
The chip.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I noticed that the goldfish was
close to
sitting
my
at
proximity.
your favorite chip.
It's close to my proximity. Yeah, I tried a few. I tried a few hundred. Yeah. No, I didn't get it too bad. I just had a couple of handfuls.
Nah, I'll probably pick her up. I didn't know you liked those. I did take them, but I'll probably.
Full.
It is? Okay,
Yeah,
I was going to just stop and get
I
one.
just got a couple of them just because they was close proximity.
I was thinking about having her come over to the house, just so I can spend some time with her away, just at the house. Yeah, so see what she thinks about that. And on the weekend, I'll just go and get her after work when I don't have to work on when I don't have to work on a Saturday. June. I don't think I have any June and July, so that's why I wanted to know when Aunt Doris was coming.
She said in June.
I know. Yeah, I know. I know. She said in June. So I just have to work one Saturday in June. It looks like, and that's the 28th.
Why don't you give her a call and see exactly what date, so you can see if there's something going on, or maybe we'll take her to that place we went to for my birthday when you gave me the sneakers.
Oh, you want to take her to the 9 Mile station?
Take her to the 9 Mile, yeah.
Now, yeah, that's the rooftop to take her out. If you want to take her out to eat,
Yeah.
I think she wanted me to cook, babe. You heard what she said. She's coming for dinner.
She can cook.
I think she wanted me to cook.
And she can go to 9 Mile just so she can get out, something to do. Just
Well,
talk.
we can take her to 9 Mile. I'll find out when she's coming. We can take her to 9 Mile Station. That's fine. Nice rooftop. Yeah, rooftop situation.
Of course.
That's a nice little get out. And it's shopping areas around here. I mean, it's Ponce City Market, right? That's where we went, and it's a whole bunch of stuff over there.
Right.
Yeah,
Take
that sounds cool. Yeah, but we have to get Nicole something, and I'm just
we got to get not Nicole something. We got to get Lisa something.
Yeah, both of them.
Lisa's birthday is the 28th. Nicole's
of
birthday, of May.
May 28th is Lisa's birthday?
28th.
Why you didn't ask her what she was doing? Oh, we're going to be... I'm now looking at... What am I looking at? I am looking at...
We need to hurry up and send Lisa something.
Shit, Memorial Day. Oh, wow. I'm off Monday.
We need to send Lisa something today.
Okay.
So how much money was in the box? I meant to ask.
And what box?
The money box.
I don't know, baby. It's right there at the... I don't know. I'm waiting for you so we can go through the cards
I didn't
together.
see it. I thought you counted the money.
No. I'm not doing it without you.
I didn't see it. That's why I asked.
No. I'm not doing it without you. That's for both of us.
It's not on the floor, and you moved it, didn't you?
I know. It's by... I did.
Okay. That's all I want to know. I didn't.
Baby, I got this. You done, you
well, let's count it. See what we got.
When we was opening. You was a killjoy when we was opening up our gifts. That just made me shut down.
You just mad because I don't want to mix my money with you. I don't want to be caught up with negative 53 cents. No, I'm just playing.
See, I think we need to go counseling. You have a lot of past issues.
You need some Amazon counseling. I bet you Amazon what the fuck is wrong with this child? She has not ordered nothing yet. What the hell?
Nope. I haven't ordered anything.
Have you got any Amazon advertisements on your phone today?
I don't know. I haven't looked at my phone today.
They are probably sending you all kind of shit trying to trigger your ass.
No, I already told you what I'm getting from Amazon, and that's for your bathroom. Your bathroom is the next thing. And I need a long rod so I can put up.
I got your long rod.
I can't with you right now. I have to. I need to put up the curtains, but then again, I'm wondering, is that the one with the curtains or just the bed in the bag?
Let's worry about the Lisa first, and then we'll move on to the rod.
You need to start looking at Hawaii.
I need to get you to slow down a little bit. Let's worry about the Lisa's birthday. We'll pick something out. We got to do it today. And then after we send that out, then we can... You planning on Amazon in this bathroom, or you planning on going to Lowe's or some of these stores? How you plan on finding all this stuff?
Amazon, because we have gift cards with Amazon.
Okay.
I'm using the money that we were given.
Let's do Lisa as soon as you get home. So it'll be on time.
That's fine.
I don't know what to get her. That's why I'm trying to get you involved. Because me, I cash out right quick.
No, I think money is so impersonable. It's like you didn't even think enough to go out and buy something. Right. Let's get her a blouse. Didn't she buy you a shirt? Let's get her a shirt, a blouse, a jumpsuit or something.
What size?
I mean, I can find out.
There you go. You got a homework assignment. You let me walk you right into that, didn't you?
That's fine, because you have a homework assignment too. I need the measurements of the window so that way we can get the long rod.
I'll wait till you're in front of me so I can read the numbers to you.
And then I'm going to need you to drill in the holders for the rod.
We got to wait till you get the rod. We got to wait till we get the stuff before we drill the stuff.
But you have a drill.
In between my legs, yeah. See, I just get all funny when you're around. I just tell her. You know I got a damn drill.
Mm-hmm.
Just used it on this damn washing machine.
You heard what they said, that, you know, all your family said the same thing, that I brought you to a different space now, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why I keep telling you, you don't have to worry about me. I mean, I've got what I want. Ain't nothing out here for me. Don't you see how ratchet these women are these days? I mean, they are. Dude. And the women my age, you can't even put them in the used car lot.
One time it came right here.
You hear what I said?
What you said that?
The women my age right now, you can't even put them in the used car lot. They so fast, past used.
Damn. So mean.
They put them in the salvage yards. Yeah, junkyard.
Okay, so I am going to be making us a couple of wedding books, you know, like we got for our engagement. You remember how I'm going to be making a couple of those, so I'm going to need pictures that you like to go into the book. Just start sending them to me so I can download them into
from your job?
No, you're going to send them through a text. I download it on my phone. I'm asking you a
question. Send them to you while you're at your job?
Yeah. Oh, you're sending them to me. Hey, babe, can nuts spoil?
Nuts?
Yeah.
It depends on.
Can nuts spoil?
It depends on how long it's in the sack. No, I'm kidding. No.
so nuts can't spoil.
Oh.
Are you sure? Because it's a funny taste in these nuts right here.
I don't know what's going on, but no, they don't.
Okay.
Just throw them in your mouth.
Right.
Twirl them around.
Yeah, I did, but I got this funny taste in my throat.
Mine tastes salty.
It tastes weird. And I was just wondering if they spoil.
Shit, my chocolate all over my finger.
Well, I cannot have that mash again, babe. We gotta think of something else.
What?
I don't know. I'm thinking about picking up something on my way in, because I don't want no chicken. It's just a lot to finish off.
I know. So you don't get you something, because I gotta finish it. I'm not wasting.
No, that's too much. That's too much mashed potato. You can't eat all of that by yourself. You know what? Maybe I could put that with the chicken.
Okay.
I could do that. But my chicken has to go into the air fryer. Yeah. My chicken has to go into the air fryer.
After we finish that off, all you got is chicken and rice, right?
That rice tastes good, boy. I put that. Man, you sleeping.
Just
that
be
rice tastes good.
I ain't much been on the rice. I ain't much been a rice person.
But you've been a mashed potato person.
Yeah.
Well, it's still macaroni and cheese.
Oh, it is? Oh, where is that?
Yeah, it's a pan. Kamara, it's a pan of that. So.
Macaroni and cheese and chicken tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. I gotta go to, you know I gotta go tomorrow.
Where you gotta go tomorrow? Oh, yeah, you gotta go tomorrow.
I'm pleading not guilty.
You know they got video.
If they could be lying.
Okay. All right.
I'm pleading not guilty.
I'll make sure I keep my phone charged before we Being
Like
that you didn't want
I'm
me to
gonna tell
go
them I
with
came
you.
in there as a good Samaritan, returning someone's contents that was mistakenly mailed to me in this box. Then they tell me that the box that they dropped off on my porch is not in compliance. So I don't understand how can it not be in compliance when they delivered it. That's what all I'm gonna say. Show them a picture of the box
That's the
and
truth.
show them the picture of the people that sent it. And then I'm going to tell them, I said, they wanted me to open the sender's personal contents and put it in a new box for the person that sent it to me and come out of my pocket. And that didn't make any sense. It just don't make any sense. Why should I pay for somebody else's packaging? I'm simply returning it. So I should not have to be paying for somebody else's packaging. I can understand or try to understand if it was my packaging. But I'm just returning something that was sitting on my porch. That's all. I'm quite sure they're going to have to do an investigation because, like I said, there's more to this story that I don't even, I'm going to tell the judge there's more to this story that I don't even need to write it down on pencil and paper. I'm going to tell them what went on while I was waiting in line. Tell them that. Shouldn't tell them. They going through people's mail and reboxing people's shit because the first thing I noticed, it was a long line. Next thing I noticed is that people were stepping out of line and leaving because they saw something that I hadn't caught on to yet. So what I caught on to after they left was that there was a guy at the counter. He had 2 post office boxes and new tape, and he was standing in line at the counter waiting. That's why the line was so long, waiting on him to repackage these boxes. So I didn't know. I was like, oh, maybe he came in without no boxes. But what had happened is that they made him buy boxes and tapes, and his box wasn't compliant. Then the next
you wasn't
lady
falling for the okay dog.
Right, because I didn't package the box. They accepted the box and dropped it off at my house. That made it compliant. So I said he can't do that to me. So the next person they got up there, they made them go back and buy some packing tape. Said the packing tape wasn't in compliance. So she had to get back out of line, get some packing tape, and then go to the counter. And now the line get longer and longer and longer, you know. And then another guy, he saw what they doing. He was in front of me. He just he took his shit and left. I said, something is not right. Something's going on. And then I was next in line waiting, and there was another lady at a counter that had an attendant who wasn't there. And I couldn't figure out why she was standing there because there was no attendant. Well, the attendant came out, and she gave her this story about she don't know how her son got the watch that wasn't in the package, and she sent it in. And that if he tell her what they wanted information from her about the package it was sent in. She said, I don't know about the package it was sent in because it wasn't the package I sent it in. And it became a big old stink there. And then I was next to the other counter. And I was like, I'm simply returning the box that was on my porch. And then she was about to scan it, and then she said, this is not in compliance. You're going to have to rebox it. I said, I didn't box it. I didn't send it. I'm returning it to sender. And that's when it went off. Boom. That fuse was lit, baby. I was not boxing somebody else's contents. It makes no sense.
Sound like they was trying to sell product.
They were selling product and hustling.
They hustling. Yeah, that's exactly what that sounded like.
And I don't need to write this down. I mean, it's right off the top of my head. I was very observant. I was saying, there's no way they're gonna make me buy a box that I didn't box it. They dropped it off. So when they dropped it off, it was in compliance. But when I bring it back, it's not in compliance. That makes no sense. Explain that one. And I even contacted the federal office and reported them. Address and all, pictures and all. So the Federal United States Postal Service in Washington, D.C., I filed a complaint. So something getting ready to happen tomorrow, but trust me on that. Trust and believe.
Trust and believe.
Now, if they find a way to wiggle me into being guilty, well, I'm going to put up a good fight. Say, there's no way I should be guilty, Your Honor. I was trying to be a good Samaritan. You can't put a good Samaritan in jail for trying to do the right thing. What do you expect me to? How do you expect me to react when I'm trying to be a good Samaritan and you making me pay for being a good Samaritan? That ain't right. That ain't right. Because I could have kept the shit. I'm telling you, I could have kept it and stole it from the people it's intended for.
From the people, yeah.
I could have been evil and kept it. But I'm trying to be a good Samaritan.
You like my hold music now? Babe?
Babe?
Did you hear my hold music?
Okay, that's your new hold music?
Did you hear it?
Better than that other crap.
Yeah, that's my little Jones right there.
I wonder why Aunt Dot ain't going to Connecticut though to see her brother.
Huh?
I wonder why she not planning on going to see her brother.
Oh.
Uncle Lo in
What's
the
going
hospital.
on? Is he?
Yeah, you remember?
Oh.
That's why Otis couldn't be there because he has to give him a blood transfusion every time you look around. He can't go nowhere because they have to keep transfusing his blood with his blood. They got the same blood type.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to go in there and give him a blood transfusion. I think I just thought maybe she would go see her brother. Because I'm planning on going to Connecticut to go see him too.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what's going on. And go see Sean as well.
When are we doing this?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Because he's back in the hospital.
When is John going over there?
I told her I would get with her when I plan on coming. Yeah. After the wedding. So I need to figure it out. But let's take care of Lisa first.
Yeah.
Let's take care of Lisa first. I'm trying to not move too fast.
So you want to just go there for Memorial Weekend opposed to going to Savannah?
Connecticut?
Yeah. I mean, I'm off that Monday. We can leave Saturday, and
We
we
gotta go
can
to the
stay until
courthouse Monday, right?
night.
Going to the courthouse Monday.
Why? What's going
Take
on
care
Monday
of
at
the
the courthouse?
certificate.
I thought we was doing that Friday the 30th. I took off the 30th.
Well, you're gonna be off Monday too, man. So take care of it.
But everybody's going to be off Monday. It's Memorial Day.
Oh, that's right.
Hold on. Connecticut for Memorial Day weekend?
Let me figure it out. Let's do Lisa
Okay.
first, and then we'll call Lisa. So I can get the information again, and then call Cole, and then call Sean. In that
Okay.
order.
Okay, that's fine. So what I'll do is I'll just stop looking in Savannah for Memorial Day weekend.
Well,
And
yeah, I might not go.
Yeah.
I might not go. I don't know.
okay, okay.
Think of
All right,
it.
I'm just saying.
Let's talk.
Okay, babe.
I gotta
That's
call
fine.
on Lee first, cause she knows
Okay.
everything.
This
You know,
Saturday.
we got to get a hotel room and all that shit. In a
Right.
car. In a car. 'Cause
Okay, yeah.
I don't think Sean got a car. They got a car, don't they? Sean
I
got
don't
a
know.
car.
Do they have a?
We could go to
Did you?
go to Queens and ride with her to her daddy to see her daddy.
Okay, so what? We would take an Uber from the airport into the.
Go to Sean's house and ride with Sean to the hospital.
And then, where
We
we gonna
either
be
stay with
staying?
Sean or get us a room.
I'm thinking a room would be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can at least ride with her, so we'll have to get a car. And then she can take us back to the airport. Right?
First, let's see if she has a car.
You remember we had the parking issue where she had to move her cars out the way? Remember that? They both got cars. You remember we pulled up at Sean's house? We had to park our
Yeah.
cars, and then she had to move hers and all that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So she can
Now
pick us up at the airport in Queens and go to the hospital to see her dad, and then take us back to the airport.
Oh, we only going one day?
I don't know yet. I'm just putting the dots in there right now.
Okay.
Just want to go see him and see how he doing, and let him know we're thinking about him, let him know we love him. At least show that I came to see him, because you know Fendibel ain't going. Uncle Dan ain't going. That was his brother and sister.
Well, if it'd be better for as far as traveling and stay, you just go. I'll stay home. So because when it's just you, that it's
Nicole done
family. It's
fixed
just,
that situation on the plane now. It ain't no more
what you
standby.
mean?
She fixed the standby problem.
No. I'm talking about as far as like it'd be easier for her to just come and get you, and then because you could probably stay on her couch, just you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You don't have to do all of that getting a room, and you know what I mean. Like it's just you,
yeah. Come on,
opposed
back
to
home.
lagging.
So we can still
Lagging
go to
your
we can
wife
still go to
and
Savannah
luggage.
then. We can still go to Savannah.
Well, talk to Aunt Lee and get back at me and let me know.
Yeah,
Try to call her today when you're done.
I'll wait till you get home.
Okay, all right. I gotta go. I got a patient. I love you. We'll talk later.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Whatever he give it to pay for this shit.
Formulated a task force that will focus on holding this unprecedented event and doing it in the safest manner possible while adding hospitality to it and having people enjoy the matches and enjoy interacting with each other. And as you know, over 10 million people will attend the matches over that month-long period of time. Over 22 million people will interact through activities. You'd mentioned FanFest, and that is something that the Department of Homeland Security is tasked with. It's our responsibility to partner with local communities and cities that are the hosts, and we'll be working with your city as well to ensure that it's we're prepared for it, that we have the needs met, and that we are doing all that we can to secure each location.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you in that regard. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Lithonia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, it is so nice to see chaos and confusion and lawlessness being replaced by law and order. Thankful to you serving on this administration and implementing common sense. I don't know today that it was discussed, and if it has been, I missed it. The Colombian entity that was picked up in the last several days in Houston, convicted of murder that came across the border during the Biden administration, 21-year murder conviction sentence, and the very same ICE agents that were shoved and yelled and cursed at are the same ICE agents that are responsible for detaining and picking up this individual that was in the streets of Texas. You said earlier today in your testimony, discussing what happened in the last several days with colleagues even on this committee on the Democrat side, trying to go to a detention center. This is the same type of place, Delaney Hall, where you would find murderers and rapists, and like this Colombian entity convicted of murder and is now in your custody. It's just madness that lawlessness is being perpetrated by even members of Congress. I want to switch gears. FEMA. There is great excitement, even as I'm talking to officials in Oklahoma who would love the opportunity to be able to make sure that the decisions for efficient use of taxpayer monies are implemented on the state level, knowing that the dollars will go farther, and knowing that you all, as you're discussing block granting, can you elaborate on current conditions, current status? There are people all over the country, even, there's a Democrat member that is former emergency management. He talks about the efficiencies that can be picked up on the state level. Can you talk about where you all are at, where we're headed on FEMA reform that can make the taxpayer dollar go farther?
Yeah, we've got some incredible work ahead of us to do on FEMA and our response as a federal government and how we support states in this. And there's certainly a lot of people weighing in. We've got members of Congress on the House and the Senate side that have bills and legislation that they want to propose, but also I think it's important to have governors at the table because they're the ones who lead the response many times and know where the downfalls are. In many cases, there's hardworking FEMA employees that do their very best to deliver for those individuals in those communities. But what's happened in the past is that even under the previous administration, some of those FEMA employees were given the opportunity to not respond to a disaster if they didn't want to or if it wasn't convenient. And so recognizing the importance of this agency and prioritizing it and making sure it's there to support the local response is incredibly important to the success for those families that get impacted by unprecedented events. So we're taking input. This review council is going to be continuing to give insight to the White House as well. And then the president certainly has ideas. He's traveled and been there for people on their worst days, and he's heard their stories of how they thought FEMA would be there, FEMA promised they would be there, and then they never showed up. They had a claim that they couldn't do the paperwork themselves. They had to get people to help them fill out this complicated paperwork process, and then the claim was never paid, or there was some problem. They had to appeal, and appealing was normal. And that just doesn't serve people. We need to make sure that it's a predictable process that's timely, and the best way to do that is to empower the local supporters.
Well, I've told this story often. Given I've got a minute, I'll relate it to you. I'll never forget in 2012 in Oklahoma, a friend of mine were helping do some cleanup work on machinery. I was on a dozer, he was on a skid steer for people who didn't have insurance. A little rural area, required to push things into vegetated and non-vegetative brush piles. I'm on a dozer and watched, I come from the dirt works world, and I watched us not be able to light on fire in a rural area that every rancher, you know from your background, does on an everyday basis when they're cleaning up their property. We had to, at state, local, and federal expense reimbursed, bring in 18-wheelers with half rounds, take an excavator, track hoe to load that non-vegetative timber in the back of that, haul it off ground somewhere to bury it with another dozer or a track hoe. Between the trucking, the dozer, the excavator, 4 times the we're concerned we would lose FEMA reimbursement if we had state control over the loss of efficiency. Grateful to you all for your leadership, common sense, returning, not chaos, which was the former state before you got in this position. Thank you.
Chair Nell recognizes the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Crane, for 5 minutes.
I want to thank you, Ms. Noem, for coming here today and giving us your testimony. I also want to thank you for the amazing work that yourself and everybody at Homeland Security have done to not only secure our border within just a couple weeks, but also to start deporting folks that aren't supposed to be here in the first place. Secretary Noem, I'm very concerned about the behavior of one of my colleagues on this very committee, who we saw assaulting both verbally and physically federal law enforcement officers just last week on national television. Ms. Noem, what kind of message do you think it sends to the country and radical political agitators that she sits here today, not being charged for a crime, but participate in today's hearing?
Well, Congressman, I believe that what you saw last Friday at Delaney Hall was not oversight. I believe that it was breaking into a federal facility and assaulting law enforcement officers. This Congresswoman was surrounded by people who were criminals that were taking criminal actions. And so we need to be honest about what happened there. And we also need to talk about the fact that we have always facilitated visits and tours of federal facilities. We would continue to do that as well. And we would encourage that they work with us to do that in the future rather than to do the unprecedented destructive actions that the Congresswoman and her colleagues engaged in last Friday.
Ms. Noem, do you think your presence here today emboldens others to behave in the very same way?
I think it would be sad if that's the testimony of what happened last Friday that gets perpetuated. I was shocked when I watched it and saw it, and was extremely discouraged to see that the colleagues that surround those 3 defend them. Because those actions, we wouldn't want our kids to act that way, our children, our grandchildren to act that way. That's not the America that we dreamed and envisioned for our country. America should be a land of opportunity and where laws are enforced, and there's consequences for breaking law.
Thank you. Ms. Noem, are you familiar with Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2 of the Constitution that covers the suspension of the writ of habeas corpus?
Yes.
It says that the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless, when cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it. Are you aware of which presidents have suspended the writ of habeas corpus?
I know that President Lincoln did.
Yeah, also Roosevelt and President Graham. You testified under oath, I believe, that the Biden administration allowed an invasion into our country. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So do you think it falls under the constitutional guidelines
Yes.
that I just read to you?
I'm not a constitutional lawyer, but I believe it does.
You've also witnessed that the Democrats here today and also radical activist judges are trying to halt and deny the president's agenda to carry out his constitutional duties to keep Americans safe and carry out his promise to the American people to secure the border and carry out mass deportations of those who have entered the country illegally. Knowing this, are you open and supportive of this constitutional option to suspend the writ of habeas corpus to keep Americans safe and carry out the president's agenda?
Well, this is something that's not in my purview to weigh in on. This is the president's prerogative to pursue, and he has not indicated to me that he will or will not be taking that action.
I want to thank Rogan O'Hanley for his efforts to bring this constitutional solution into the national conversation. Now I want to shift gears real quick. Ms. Noem, on May 5th, 2025, I joined Congressman Zinke and 8 of my fellow Republican colleagues in asking why it was appropriate for DOD and DHS to require real IDs for entry into Arlington National Cemetery.
I did see that letter this week, sir.
My question, what information can you share on the security posture of Arlington Cemetery that require real ID?
Well, sir, I'm not certain as to the procedures and the requirements at Arlington Cemetery. I do know that real ID at our airports for travel was required by statute and law change over 20 years ago. So that has been implemented on May 7th, and we have over 90% compliance that has happened at our airports since then. And overwhelmingly, the vast majority of travelers have had a real ID and have utilized that or a federally recognized ID going forward. But as far as what is required at Arlington Cemetery, I have not been in the knowledge of to what those requirements are.
In that case, would you consider taking a look at that and also consider recommending repealing that requirement?
I can certainly take a look at that and follow up with a conversation with you, absolutely.
Thank you. I yield back.
The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Tennessee, Mr. Ogles, for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Madam Secretary, for being here. Mr. Chairman, we've spent the last few hours with some of our colleagues defending rapists, murderers, individuals who committed a variety of crimes, and yet I don't believe a single one has asked about the 300,000 children that have been lost in our nation. I don't think a single one of them asked about Lake and Riley's family, or the young girls that recently have been reported between the ages of 12 and 14 that have been raped in Louisiana, Iowa, New York, and other states. And so as we sit here and have this conversation, let's level set about who we're really talking about. We're talking about criminals and thugs. And so let's get back to the reality of who these people are, not to mention the fact that if they come here illegally, their first action when they come into this country is in fact a criminal act. Now, Madam Secretary, we've heard a lot of misinformation and rapid fire. Let's see if we can set the record straight on a few things. When it comes to detention centers and oversight provided to Congress, does that oversight provision allow members of Congress to break into detention centers?
No, sir, I don't believe.
Does that oversight authority give members of Congress the right to assault members of law enforcement?
No, sir.
Madam Secretary, is assaulting a member of law enforcement a crime?
Yes.
I would urge, Mr. Chairman, that this committee look into anyone in Congress who has assaulted a member of law enforcement and the respective actions be taken as necessary, looking at the totality of the circumstances. Regards to FEMA, it's my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, upon taking the helm, you discovered that there were a variety of unpaid claims, some of those going back 10 to 20 years.
Absolutely.
It's also my understanding that under the vision of President Donald Trump and your leadership, you plan to change the response time from 10 to 20 years to 6 months.
That is true.
Madam Secretary, as someone who was formerly a county executive, whose one of my departments was in fact emergency management, I can tell you that it will be a necessary and very useful as states and communities look to be reimbursed. Let's turn to Nashville, which is part of my district. Under your leadership, Homeland Security and ICE has conducted a variety of raids. Recently, 95, I do believe, of which were arrested who had previous criminal charges. 31 of which were previously deported and snuck back into this country. One of those was a sexual predator. So again, let's level set as to who we are talking about. We're talking about criminals and thugs who have no business being in our country. That being said, instead of thanking you and your leadership and thanking the president, the mayor of Nashville criticized and attacked law enforcement verbally. He then instructed members of law enforcement to report any communication with federal authorities. He then directed the Police Community Oversight Board to direct citizens to file complaints against law enforcement if they cooperate with federal law enforcement. Considering we've seen a 400% increase against federal law enforcement, do these types of statements and actions by a municipal leader concern you?
Yes, absolutely. They perpetuate the violence against law enforcement officers. And what happens many times then is that our agents within the Department of Homeland Security go into situations with no backup, with no local response of people who know the communities, know the routes, the roads, or the needs to emergency services that may be there. So it absolutely makes them much more vulnerable to a situation to which their lives could be in jeopardy.
Yes, ma'am. And if a municipal leader is found to be aiding and abetting illegal immigrants to evade federal law enforcement, would that be a criminal act?
Yes.
Yes, I believe it would, sir.
And if elected officials impede ICE or Homeland Security in doing their job and pursuing illegal immigrants, would that be a criminal act?
I believe so.
Madam Secretary and Mr. Chairman, I will be asking the Committee of Homeland Security and Judiciary to be looking into the mayor of Nashville and any collusion or impeding of federal authorities in conducting their work in the city of Nashville. I would also encourage this committee and judiciary to look at other leaders, municipal leaders across the country, as they obstruct this administration, this Madam Secretary and her employees in doing their constitutional job, which is uphold the rule of law. Madam Secretary, I thank you and I yield back.
Is the gentleman trying to offer a motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to Secretary Nome for being here. So I represent the 3rd District of South Carolina, and we're happy about the work that you and your team have done and continue to do to secure our border. It's very important. I mean, we could sit here all day and talk about the fentanyl crisis and the trafficking, and it does affect each and every one of us. So you've made it clear that securing the border is not just a national security issue, but it's a financial one. Can you speak to how these enforcement gains translate into tangible cost savings for American taxpayers and counties in Middle America where local law enforcement have had to bear the strain of dealing with these cartel-fueled crime, and just as the fentanyl and the trafficking that I mentioned as well?
Yes, the partnerships we've been able to build as a federal agency with local law enforcement and with state law enforcement has been key to helping make communities much safer in the last several months. Those state officials are so grateful to have someone come alongside them and help them address the public safety concerns and threats that they have and that they've been living with for the last several years. And so we have created through the 287G program, there's also other programs out there to where we operate in a task force model to go out and do enforcement operations, but also to bring consequences for those that are criminally breaking our laws. Many times you have in areas where these people have committed multiple crimes and been re-released. In fact, in some sanctuary cities, that's still happening, where people have committed acts of murder or rape that are still out on the loose, but because local law enforcement isn't addressing the issue, we haven't been able to capture those individuals yet. So we're always grateful for law enforcement that cares about their community and will step up and help protect them from these violent criminals.
Great, thank you. And I know you've worked hard with Governor McMaster, and he appreciates your efforts as well. My next question, as part of your broader effort to return DHS to its core mission, are there specific TSA programs or administrative functions under review for potential reforms or streamlining or maybe even...
It's actually something standing back like 2 years ago. At some other location, they were in Oak Brook, and within the past couple of days, they recognized because of passing the pictures around. They think she's probably about to do something today. That's why they called. They just want her ID and escorted out. He's deciding if he wants an actual trespass or not. But at the very least, we can try to ID him. Sounds like she has a couple different aliases. Trespass would be the trespass to be issued. Right. Hey, ma'am. Can I talk to you? Yeah. Do you have an ID on you? Yeah. So the store is telling us that there's something going on between you and them.
Me and them?
Yeah, that's what they're telling us. So.
I've never done nothing. I'm confused.
Okay. Well, they're telling me one thing. That's why I'm coming to talk to you, and that's why I'm requesting your identification. So.
Okay. It's in the car. That's weird. How? We just walked in the store.
I understand. Whatever you have going on with them, I'm not exactly sure the depths of the details, but it sounds like they're expecting or investigating you for some kind of fraud or something like that. So, go ahead.
I didn't apply for nothing.
I'm just telling you what they told me. Oh, what's your name, date of birth? You want straight though. Then do you have an ID on you as well? I was talking to her. What's that? Look, I just explained to her you guys are...
That's where I was for a lawsuit. So, I'm like... Right.
The store is suspecting you of some kind of fraud, like I said.
Why? Because we're black?
No, not at all.
How is that? How is that a being suspected? I've never heard of that.
They're letting us know that you two have supposedly, allegedly committed some kind of fraud at other locations. They recognized you, so they called us.
No, never. That is crazy.
Do you have a middle initial, ma'am?
Yeah, be like zebra.
Middle is easy, bro. Do you have your ID, ma'am?
Yeah, and I'm going to apology.
Apology from who?
From the store and whoever else. That's crazy.
Is your middle initial Z or L?
Zero.
Do you think that's her? The first one?
I don't know. She has 2 DLs on her too.
2 driver's license?
Yeah, I saw the back. She tucked it back in. She gave me this one. This is a photo.
I'm not convinced that it's her though. She looks a little different. What was it issued? Might just be like a... Hey, it's Demi. Hi, could you do me a favor and call Downers Grove and see if actively investigating the fraud? I'm not sure exactly when it occurred, but it sounds like within the last probably week or so. Apparently this individual uses a bunch of different IDs. She has a couple different aliases that the store's been passing around. They're convinced it's her, so I want to make sure I actually have the right person before I go issue the trespass just yet. So I don't think that first one, I don't think that's her. But I have no way to determine that at this point. Because on her file it says she's 22. She looks 22 to you? She looks a lot older than that.
So?
She looks about 30. I just asked him to call Downers Grove to see if there's any kind of active investigation.
Open the vehicle owner over the phone. He advised that the car is not abandoned.
Check and see.
Yeah, want to go check there? I'll talk to him. I also, there's a little trick I learned. If it isn't her on camera, she just wrote down that name. That piece of paper will go in evidence.
Yeah.
In fact, isn't. But
Yeah. Man, she gave me this.
well, yeah, but still.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why they're telling me that you guys are being investigated for fraud?
No reason. He just said they're going to give us a no trespassing. For what?
Well, again, they have enough to believe that you have committed fraud at other locations, right? That's, again, why they're calling us in the first place at all. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here if they
I
didn't.
didn't even know that was a thing, like, to suspect somebody of crime that never even did a transaction.
To suspect somebody of something, you don't necessarily need to
So you can
know
just
100% that they committed.
unsuspecting them?
To investigate the possibility of a crime being committed, sure.
I've never heard of that.
One second. It's Officer Andrews. I got a pretty good feeling that the ID that the first one gave me is not going to be her. She looks a little bit different, and she seems a little bit older. I guess the ID belongs to somebody who's 22. There's not a whole lot more I can do at this point, except just document and then issue the trespass, which is what we're going to do. Louver's going to try to check clear to see if we can find anything else. Hey, just to let you know, Downers Grove doesn't have an active case, so it might have gone unreported. What's a good phone number for you?
773. Why didn't you my phone?
This is my partner's asking, plus we're going to make a report just to document everything, so they need to...
What's the report for? Because at this point, I feel that
What was the last one? We're investigating the possibility of a fraud being committed.
possibility of a fraud.
Yes.
You're investigating fraud. And
So, this is the thing. Where does the no trespass come in?
How do you mean?
Where does the no trespass come in? Because we did something about a no trespass report or order.
It's just a piece of paper that we're going to give to you. You're going to sign it. You just get a piece of paper that says if you come back here, you're liable to be arrested for trespass. They're a private business. They can choose who can come and go. They're refusing to allow you back on the premise. And that's all it is.
And you didn't ask for her phone number? You didn't even
I can gotten to it yet.
Need my phone number.
Like I said, we're making a report. Everyone's information is going to go in there to include a phone number.
I've never seen this or heard of this before.
You guys just sit tight a minute, okay? What was the last four again?
Last 49081.
Okay, never mind.
I'm on the phone right now.
Who's that? Oh, her? Oh, what, tickets?
Yeah, I'm on the phone. She gave me all this information. What she did.
Where's she at? Why, friends or something? She's about calling her right now. Is she saying anything?
No, she put me on the phone.
You think we got enough to hook her at least?
We have enough opinion for a pending investigation.
Think we can bring her back to the station and damage her?
I might want to call the boss on her.
I'll go do that.
I think we might.
Okay. Well, the simple fact that you're on the phone with her and she already verified that.
And she gave me all the information.
Yeah.
I think we might have enough. But
79 Adam, can you throw that? Be a 46 auto over at 115 place Harlem. It's going to be here in Franklin 4106, David Franklin 410.
Plus, as far as we can tell, I bet she's probably here to commit another fraud.
can't assume that, but yes.
Well, I mean, if we're able to verify that it's her that was at the other stations that actually did commit fraud, I mean,
It would go for it, but it would be.
that makes the picture enough.
It does, but the only charge that we have
No, I wouldn't charge her. No, that's what I was saying.
presenting the fake ID.
Yeah. Obstructing ID?
Yeah,
Okay. We'll go call. Yeah, awesome. Hey, so I just want to run this by you. We got the call from Great Escape who said within the past couple of days, their Downers Grove location, at their Downers Grove location, one of these individuals committed a fraud via financing. She has a bunch of different aliases, and looks like Wells Fargo is also investigating her, and she's like different accounts open with them. And I'm not really sure how they go through, but that's what's been going on. They recognized her because they've been passing her photo and the identifiers and stuff around the different stores. Owner of the business also said he noticed that she was in the Oak Brook location recently as well. So we met them, we ID'd them. They each gave us an ID. The one who's in question gave us an ID that may not be her. Mover looked up the phone number for the person who's on the ID. He's talking to her now, and it seems like she verified the address and that it's actually her ID, but it doesn't look like it's the same person we're talking to. So I don't know if you maybe want to swing by or what, but okay. He's on his way. Did you find anything else out? Huh? Did you find anything else out?
We got disconnected. Trying to call her back. I think she's probably understandably so.
I think we have enough to back here. I think we're pretty clear. I think so.
I think she's the one I talked to. The real one. So the one giving me any information. So because a random guy just called her asking for information. So I get it.
Well, she still verified the address, though.
She verified the address. She verified her date of birth.
Give me 10 B. Give me 10. We got one running. Get on the ground. Do it now. Get on the ground. Stay down. You're under arrest. Cuffs. Go and check on her. Stop pulling. Stop reaching. Tuck your knee. Tuck your knee and roll. There you go. Do you have shoes on? Stop pulling away from me. Stop pulling away. Stop. I am not. I'm locking you to my squad. I got it. Let's go. Do not move.
Stop talking
Do not
to me.
move.
Stop talking to me like that.
No. Good? Face the squad. Stay there.
Stop.
Stop trying to leave.
I'm not trying to. Not me.
Got it?
I want to file a complaint against you.
Let's go. Okay.
And it's hot in here. It's hot in here. It's hot.
I know you were tapping on the window.
But I don't want to talk to you because
I was saying it was hot.
Let me read this to you real quick. All right. So you have the right to remain silent. Whatever you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to speak to a lawyer and have him or her present while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you. Do you understand these rights, and are you willing to speak with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you understand and you're willing to talk to me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So were you knocking just because it was hot, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to talk to me about anything?
It was just like really hot, and the way you guys were manhandling me.
Okay.
And like these cuffs are too tight, and I asked you guys to loosen them several times, and no one loosened them.
I can work with you on that, but you never asked that, so we'll make that adjustment as soon as I can get another officer over here. Currently, you're in custody for resisting and for obstructing identification. You fled from us. You went running. You're using somebody else's identification. What is your real name?
I don't have a lawyer present.
Okay. So you don't want to speak to me without a lawyer present. That's what you're saying? You have to.
The cuffs are way too tight.
Okay. Well, I can, as soon as I can get an officer over here to safely facilitate loosening those, I will. We have to see what's on.
And I don't have any shoes on.
We'll work on the shoes. Just turn it face that way and I'll adjust them. You have plenty of room in here. I'm not going to adjust these anymore.
So this one is kind of tight. This one.
This one is? You
Correct.
can free flow move your hand. Here, turn face that way. I'm gonna. So if you keep your hand like this, it's gonna hurt a lot less when you're sitting. Okay. So now I'm gonna double lock it because if I don't, you're gonna.
Can you tell my sister?
That's your sister?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Ivy.
Ivy. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want her to
Can
say?
you let her know to come here?
Let her know to come here.
Mm-hmm.
She's not gonna talk to you while you're in custody. That's not gonna happen.
So you can't let her know to come here?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm not gonna allow her to talk to you right now.
Okay.
How old is your, this has nothing to do with the crime at hand. How old is your daughter that you said you have to pick up at 7?
That's what I need her to do. Go and pick her up.
Okay. How old is she?
It doesn't matter. I need her to go and pick her up.
It's okay.
Okay. So you're not going to tell her to pick her up for me?
I'll let you make a phone call when we get back to the station.
Okay. Keisha! CLKK don't answer the phone. You heard me? Keisha! CLKK don't answer. CLKK don't answer the phone.
So now you're actively obstructing. So
I'm telling her, do what you have to do, sweetheart, and I'm going to add a charge to you. I'm going to file a complaint. The fact that you guys roughed me up and the fact that you touched my inner thigh. I'm definitely going to file a complaint. Okay. So thank you, on camera.
Okay.
Yes. Keisha!
No! Her name's Keisha now? Oh, her name's Keisha?
You sound so...
She's saying her name's Keisha.
Her middle name, duh.
Oh, let me see her Keisha.
Keisha, tell KK don't answer. Hey, Keisha!
Watch your head. Watch your shoes.
Don't tell Chase!
Alright, we're putting your seatbelt back on. Alright, you want to lean that way? I'll grab this so I don't touch you.
Yeah, please don't. What am I being arrested for?
Obstruction ID and obstruction of justice.
Upon arrival at the station, she was fingerprinted, revealing over 10 aliases linked to prior arrests. She was subsequently released with a scheduled court date. Share your thoughts below and remember to like and subscribe for more videos.